Long before humans believed they ruled the land, the animals already did. Deep within the great forest of Mabira, where ancient trees touched the sky and rivers moved like silver snakes, the animals lived by an ancient council. The lion, majestic and powerful, spoke for strength. The wise old elephant spoke for memory, carrying the histories of generations in her mind. The owl, perched high above, spoke for wisdom, her eyes seeing what others missed, and all decisions were made in a delicate, perfect balance. But one season, that balance began to break. The rains, once a life-giving blessing, came too early and with a devastating fury. The rivers swelled, flooding nests, washing away burrows, and stealing homes. Then, as if nature itself was at war, fire followed water. The sun beat down, turning the damp earth into cracked clay, and food grew scarce. Fear crept through the forest like a shadow. The animals gathered beneath the oldest baobab tree, its branches a silent witness to their distress. The lion's roar was not of dominance, but of worry. "The forest is changing faster than we can run," he growled, his voice low and heavy. The elephant sighed, a sound like shifting mountains. "I remember this land as it was," she said softly. "Something is missing now." The owl, from her high branch, blinked her large, knowing eyes. Not something, she hooted into the tense silence. Someone. At the very edge of the forest lived a human boy named Tano. He was small for his age, quiet by nature, and known for one remarkable thing: his kindness. He didn't see the world as a place to conquer, but as a home to share. He would break his bread to give crumbs to hungry birds. He would gently untangle panicked snakes from poachers' traps, whispering apologies for the cruelty of others. He spoke softly even to the ants marching in a line across his path. The animals had been watching him for a long time, their curiosity mixed with a cautious respect. One sweltering afternoon, a wildfire, sparked by lightning, began to creep toward the heart of the forest. While other humans fled, Tano ran toward the danger. His small frame was a blur of motion as he grabbed wet branches, beating back the flames with a desperate courage. He didn't just fight the fire, he guided the terrified animals, his clear voice cutting through the smoky chaos. "This way, follow me to the river." He called out, leading deer and monkeys and even a young boar toward the safety of the water. When the smoke finally cleared and the last embers died, the animals knew. The fire had tested not just their strength, but the character of the boy who lived at their border. That night, under a brilliant full moon, the forest shimmered with a quiet magic. For the first time in recorded memory, the animals invited a human into their sacred council. Tano stepped into the clearing, his heart pounding in his chest. He was trembling, not from fear, but from awe. "I will leave if I am not welcome," he said, his voice barely a whisper. The owl flew down to a low branch, her gaze soft. "You are welcome," she replied, "because you listen." The lion, the symbol of wild power, lowered his great head in a gesture of respect. The elephant, whose size could crush him, gracefully knelt. One by one, from the smallest mouse to the tallest giraffe, the animals bowed. "We choose you," the lion declared, his voice a deep rumble. "Not to command, but to protect," the elephant added, her tone gentle, "not to rule, but to remember." Finally, the owl spoke for them all. "You shall be the bridge between our world and yours." They crowned Tano with a circlet woven from sacred leaves and the iridescent feathers of the sunbird. He was no longer just a boy. He was a promise. From that day forward, the forest began to heal. The rivers found their old paths, the trees grew stronger, and the scent of fear was replaced by the fragrance of blossoms. But humans, guided by Tano's stories, learned new ways to walk in the world, to take only what they needed, and to see the animals not as resources, but as neighbors. The animals, in turn, no longer feared the sound of human footsteps, and when conflict arose, as it sometimes did, Tano stood between the worlds, a quiet mediator, speaking for both. He was not the king of animals. He was the king asterisk with asterisk them. And so the Great Council of the Forest chose a human king not because he was powerful, but because he was kind. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves a good tale. We'll see you in the next video.